And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Welcome to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan, coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Sunday, March 9th, 2025. And I hope last night before you went to bed or when you woke up this morning, you remembered to change your analog clocks ahead 1 hour. We sprung ahead 1 hour, so now we're back into daylight saving time. And what we got coming up, well, areas of light to moderate snow pushed into areas of the southwest this weekend. Those have diminished. Still some light snow up there along the outer Yukon Delta towards St. Lawrence Island. Any advisories there will be coming down later tonight. And then areas of the Panhandle, we have a front that's going to push snow, rain, and some wind up into there later tonight and especially Monday morning. And there southern parts of the Panhandle are under winter weather advisories because of that. Overall, across the state, I think we're going to see temperatures cool down a bit this week. Nothing dramatically colder, but cooler than what we've seen. And it'll be wetter along areas of the Gulf Coast, including the Panhandle, back across the Alaska Peninsula and Aleutians, whereas further north you go, the drier it will be in the interior and especially northwest. And for you sky watchers, we have a full moon that's going to be accompanied by a total lunar eclipse coming up late this Thursday evening, March 13th. So if skies are clear to partly cloudy in your location, you should be able to see that event. Now, as of mid-afternoon Sunday, Emonic there along the lower Yukon Delta coast, there's been some areas of light snow, a little bit of blowing, not much though, and some fog, 28 degrees. But that snow will be diminishing overnight and into Monday. Heidelberg in the southern part of the Panhandle, light rain 39, but you could see some accumulating wet snow, maybe a few inches, not that much, but rather sloppy. A few spots could get a little bit more than that across the southern Panhandle. And again, that's all because of the winter weather advisory. We still have a winter weather advisory until 1 a.m. Monday morning for St. Lawrence Island. Not really anticipating much in the way of any additional accumulation. Still a little breezy there, but conditions will be improving for the day by the time we get to Monday. And then across the southern Panhandle, there is the potential for 2 to as much as 4 or 5 inches of wet, sloppy snow. That'll be tonight through early afternoon on Monday. And southern areas, just a little heavier precipitation occurring at nighttime, early morning, so that's why there's that potential for some accumulation. Overall, though, you're going to have other areas of rain and snow pushing into the Panhandle and along the northern Gulf Coast as this frontal system works its way east and northeastward. And as far as avalanche danger from the Alaska Avalanche Information Center, avalanche danger is high across areas of the eastern Kenai, especially there at Turnagain Pass, Moose Pass, with considerable avalanche danger around Summit Lake. We also have some moderate avalanche danger there in the vicinity of Valdez up toward Thompson Pass. So it's that time of year we have to be careful. Just out there, if you're going to be a backcountry skier or snowmobile, be especially cautious and avoid those steeper grades that are 30 degrees or more. So we have coming up on Thursday evening a total lunar eclipse. And mid-eclipse is forecast that will happen just prior to 11 p.m. Alaska Daylight Time Thursday evening. The moon will be lower in the southeast sky, maybe about 25, 28 degrees above the horizon, depending on your lawn latitude. But something to watch for. Again, if skies are clear to partly cloudy at your location, the moon takes on this ruddy, kind of orangish red or brownish red appearance because it's in the shadow of Earth. And what happens is on the daylight side of the Earth, the blue light gets scattered out, but then the longer wavelengths, the reds, yellow, oranges, kind of get bent around into the shadow, and that's why the moon takes on that color. And what areas of the world will see this eclipse? Primarily, this is going to be a Western Hemisphere event, North and South America, with areas of the central U.S., continental U.S. there right in the heart of it. So looking at satellite imagery, we have some scattered showers around areas of the Panhandle, but here's that front that's going to push in some snow, rain, and wind across the Panhandle, northeastern Gulf Coast, especially later tonight and into Monday morning. Back across the Alaska Peninsula and Aleutians, notice the scattering of showers, rain and snow showers, and then we have a low center out here toward the central bearing. This is the main system. And we take a look at the weather map late tonight into early Monday morning. So we've had a secondary low develop this Sunday near Kodiak Island. It's going to lift up into the western Gulf. This is an old low that was out over the Gulf. All that part of a frontal system, though, that's being pushed northeastward up into the Panhandle. And it's also made way across into the interior of the southwest mainland. Overall, this feature will be weakening as we head through the early week. So Monday morning, we have the main secondary low that's there in the western Gulf, and then this front will begin to weaken. But as it pushes up into the Panhandle later tonight and through Monday morning, it will be accompanied by some rain and snow. As I mentioned, that winter weather advisory for the southern Panhandle that includes Annette Island, Prince of Wales Island, and the areas around Ketchikan. Few inches of wet, sloppy snow, locally a little more in some of the higher elevations. Back to the west, just a scattering of snow showers all along this region with the low pressure there just north of St. Paul Monday afternoon. By Tuesday, we find still low pressure lingering out here over the southwestern Gulf with a weakening front or trough around it. Back to the west, there is another low south and southwest of the Aleutians. And then as we get into Wednesday, things really weaken here across the northern Gulf. Just a remnant trough is all that's left. Generally dry weather across much of the mainland, though temperatures will be cooling a bit. Winds are also going to be picking up as the pressure gradient increases along the south slope of the Brooks Range and north of the Yukon River. You could have some gustier winds mid to late week up through this region. And this low for the time being passing just south of the Aleutians here through the midweek period. Temperature-wise, be chilly, cold. Below zero, north slope, Arctic coast into areas east slopes there of the Brooks Range, Yukon Flats. Lows will stay above freezing, outer areas of the Panhandle, maybe Sitka to just down there around Klawock and Craig. But with the snow, you're going to see temperatures fall close to that freezing mark or a little below, depending on how hard it snows. And then out here along the Alaska Peninsula, lows generally near just above freezing. Even within the Anchorage Bowl, temperatures will likely dip a little below freezing. But on Monday afternoon, we're still looking at some temperatures getting back up around or just above 40. Southern outer Panhandle, parts of South Central could still be near 40 degrees. And as you can see, that front that came up into the southwest interior, into the lower Yukon and up the Kuskokwim rivers will push temperatures low to maybe mid 30s from Bethel eastward and southward. Areas out toward Savunga there bumping up to 25 degrees because that front has helped to warm them. Tuesday morning, though, lows again below zero. Coldest readings out here north slope in that area, Wainwright down toward Point Lay. We could see sub-zero readings again in the same areas of the east central, especially Yukon Flats, southeast slopes there of the Brooks Range. And then a bit colder here in through the Copper River Basin, Talkeetna down to 15. And then for Tuesday afternoon, high temperatures still lower 40s or so in the southern Panhandle. Areas of South Central still getting daytime highs above freezing on Tuesday, though. Again, the trend, just a little cooler weather, especially up through this region for the interior and up into the north. Trailing down along the Alaska Peninsula, we are looking for high temperatures generally in the upper 30s, maybe squeaking out 40 at Homer and Kodiak City. So looking ahead to and just past mid-month, March 15th through the 19th, the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day temperature outlook indicates that temperatures will average below normal along the west-northwest coast, especially along the Bering Strait, Chukchi Sea coast, St. Lawrence region, also in through the Panhandle, with maybe readings a little above normal up toward the Kenai Peninsula, Cook Inlet, back down along the Alaska Peninsula. Prior to March 15th, though, we're going to just generally see a little cooler temperatures across, especially much of the mainland. Precipitation-wise, disregard that, just something in the way that the process that colorized this overdid it. But the main thing to draw away from this map is that precipitation is expected to average above normal around and south of the Alaska Range, especially around areas of Cook Inlet, Prince William Sound, the Anchorage, Mat-Su Valley. So precipitation there centered on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, could average a better likelihood of above normal along and south of the Alaska Range across south central areas.